Jess.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Karen.
Okay, it looks like we're all here. Well, good evening, everyone.
Everybody there?
I believe we're all here.
I think so.
All right. It is 6:32. Can we have roll call, Michelle?
Mr. Lawton,
Here.
Mr. Cologne,
Sorry, here.
Mrs. Saint Amand,
Here.
Mr. DiMartino.
Here.
All right. Lou, can you read the mission statement, please?
Sure. The West Warwick Public Schools, in partnership, with the entire community, is dedicated to providing all learners with access and opportunity to a challenging, comprehensive education while developing 21st century skills in a safe, personalized learning environment.
Thank you. Joe,
Thank you.
can you lead us in the pledge?
Sure. Pledge allegiance
To the
The
flag.
flag of the United
United
States
States
of
of
America,
America,
and
and
to
to
the
the
republic for which it stands,
one
one nation,
nation,
under
under
God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
All
you.
right. Motion to seal executive session minutes, please.
Make a
I'll make a
motion.
motion.
Motion, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Karen, superintendent's report. It's all yours.
Okay, thank you. Just a couple of quick things tonight. Just an update on distance learning. As you know, we're still engaged in distance learning and will be until the end of the school year. By far and large, it's going very well. Everybody's working really hard, above and beyond, to the point where, you know, we have to help people help themselves and kind of moderate their efforts in a sense.
Sure.
So we're planning on that from now till the end of the year. And just give a shout out to everybody involved, the teachers, the support staff, the administrators, the Professional Development Academy. Everybody's been great in just supporting. We all know we started out at a good place technology-wise because the district invested years ago in K-12 Chromebooks. But it's been the meat behind that for all of these years that started us off in a good place, and it sustained us in terms of getting off to a good start with remote learning. So just thank you to everybody. Not that it's perfect, but you know, we keep at it and we address concerns as they come up. And it's given us, you know, a whole nother platform to be creative and innovative. And how can we not only deliver traditional academic instruction in terms of the core subjects, but how to best service our kids all around in terms of social emotional needs. And we've learned a lot along the way, and we're just committed to not just getting through this year, but to building systems that will really serve us well in the future. And on that, like I talked about at the last meeting, we don't have any further updates or guidance from the state about summer school or what returning to school next year is going to be. So there's a lot of conversation around it. There's a lot of speculation. And we're just very much involved in the conversation, and that we'll report back as soon as we have more information. And certainly be planning what will best serve the students and families once we have that information. Just to let you know as well, Joe Spagnet and I made our budget presentation to the town council. The week before last was the budget workshop in which we presented. Then last week there was one of the 2 budget hearings where we go and we're available to ask questions. They asked some questions about the uncertainty around the funding from the state that we're all experiencing now, every town and city and school department. And we just had a conversation around that, and we really couldn't answer anything because we're still waiting for what our exact numbers are going to be as well. So it went well, and it was a thoughtful conversation, and we always appreciate any conversation around our work, including the budget. So with that, once Joe couldn't be here tonight, but on his behalf, as we get new information from the state regarding our state aid, they will certainly keep everybody informed about that as well. And that was it for tonight.
Thanks, Karen. Financial update, will you be doing that as well? With Joe not here?
Yes, Joe left his documents in the packet for you, and I said that if you had any questions, I would do my best.
2019, 2000. Oh, go ahead.
The consent agenda?
You gotta do the consent agenda.
Oh, I skipped right over that, huh?
Yeah, yes, please.
Thank you. Nice catch. Discussion approval, consent agenda. A, open session minutes, April 9th, 2020. B, executive session minutes, April 9th, 2020. And C, payment of bills, $1,416,316.60.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Sue,
Second.
second by Lou. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Nice catch there, Sue.
Thanks, Sue.
Thank you, Sue.
Come on, Aubrey.
I'm so sorry.
Attack.
I was trying to figure out how to unmute myself. Sue's my legal assistant tonight.
There you go.
All right.
The only
Now
one,
we get to the
Aubrey.
school calendar. That's 14, discussion and approval of the updated May, June calendar.
Members of the school committee, I recommend that there be a discussion/approval of the updated 2019-2020 school calendar. And you have in your packet a copy of a May calendar and June calendar. Just like they did for April, the Department of Ed forwarded an adjusted school calendar for this year. Given our jump into distance learning, they included some professional development days and a couple of vacation days, one in April and one in May, which will be this Friday, actually. So in conjunction with the Teachers Alliance, which we always do have a mutual agreement around any school schedule, Sean Doyle and I agreed upon this, and we forwarded it for approval tonight.
As I said before, Karen, I'm very thankful for these days on behalf of the teachers and you guys as well, because I know my wife, I told you, my wife is a preschool teacher, and she's been up all day and night trying to get certain things done in a different district. But, I know it's a lot of work. It's high demand.
Yeah, and I think the state recognized that in terms of it was an abrupt change in delivery of instruction and just our lives in every way. So, we appreciate the fact that they, adjusted the calendar to include these days too.
Just on that point, Karen, also, do you have something built in for the teachers as well, so that, because sometimes we're our own worst enemies, right? And so sometimes we can't we can't separate the fact that now home is the office and office is the home. So like do they have like a buzzer or something that they can hit for themselves to be like, hey, I need to stop and put this aside, like
Well, that's part of what we've been working with and thinking a lot about since we started doing distance learning. It's when you're attached to it naturally 24/7,
yeah,
teachers, administrators, it's, I think, a natural thing to, you can work at it 24/7.
right.
So
It's
try
there.
to build into our professional development, just some wellness factors and just not just the academic and the school piece, but really it's about balance, because whether we're working in school or remotely from home, we need to make sure we're balancing our lives, and then we can be the best we can be in front of our kids.
All right, cool. That's awesome. Thanks, Karen. Make
Thanks.
a motion that we accept the updated calendar.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So the
Thank
last day of school is the 12th. That's good.
Correct. Great.
Okay, 15, discussion approval, first reading of policies. A is bloodborne.
So I think, do we want to do them one at a time, Steve, or do them all three at once? I think we
Want
can
to
do
do all
all
three?
three. Yeah, we can do all three at once.
Okay,
I think we, oh, yeah.
bloodborne pathogens. B, loan of textbooks. Says to be deleted. And then C, donation of obsolete computer hardware to be deleted.
Members of the school committee, I recommend that there be a discussion/approval of the first reading of the following policies. And as you know, we've been for several years now updating our policy manual, and Keith Remillard has been charged in the past couple of years with moving this work along. And per the given policy we're working on, he pulls together the appropriate committee of people associated with any given policy to make a recommendation. So the first one is regarding bloodborne pathogens, and as outlined in your packet in the red line copy, it was revised. The second one is the loan of textbooks. That's just to simply be deleted. That language was just obsolete and it doesn't apply anymore, so we don't need the policy around it. And C is the donation of obsolete computer hardware, also to be deleted, because our hardware, by the time we would donate it, nobody would want it, because we use our device, all of our technology till it's not fixable, or the parts are outdated, or so sometimes we don't, people will take them for parts. Sometimes we use the parts to fix other Chromebooks,
Right.
as an example. So
So
we
pretty
make
much
those changes.
another quick question with respect to this particular thing. Remember of course we remember, we all do, the young man that was using the computers and stuff like that. Does
Good
that program still exist? Is that program still viable, or is it something that since he's gone, no one really has
Well,
adapted?
that was a project. That was Austin Laramie. That was a project he took on himself,
Right.
and we were able to support him as a former student with a student at the time.
Okay.
Some of our old hardware that we would have just been thrown away, wouldn't have been
Gotcha.
worthy to donate or anything.
Right,
So, yeah,
right.
but he's
How about, for example, I saw something in the news the other day, not that I'm trying to make any extra stuff for us, but the other day there was a young man that was collecting, iPads and these types of things to send off to the hospital so that parents and elderly could have some access. Would that stuff be even, like, I know that it's obsolete in the sense of operating systems and those things, but would it be good enough to donate in those situations?
my understanding.
I don't need an answer now, but
Yeah,
just
we
maybe
can. I can bring that back to our Jim Monty, not to put you on the spot, but if you had a comment about that. My understanding is that, no, by the time we're done with them, they're not working, they're not
Okay.
fixable.
All right.
Okay. Sure.
Please.
Thank you, Jen.
What else is new? Okay. Great. Good.
Thanks, Jim.
Great.
Karen,
Thank
can
you,
I just
Jim.
say one quick thing?
Sure.
Sorry, just on the loan of textbooks, I just in case this gets misconstrued since we're streaming, it's not that it's obsolete, it's more that it's already in the law. There's already a law about loan of
Thank you.
textbooks. I'm sorry. And so we just, if for some reason that law were to go away, I think it would be a big savings to the district. So we don't want to then have to go through potentially having to revise or eliminate a policy. So it's in the law and we'll follow the law with respect to loan of textbooks. Sorry.
Great. Thank you, Aubrey. No,
Thank
thanks
you,
for the
Aubrey.
clarification. That's important. Thank you.
All right, we need a motion to approve.
Make a
I'll make
motion.
a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, good. All right, discussion approval, last chance agreement, teacher assistant.
Members of the school committee, I recommend there be a discussion/approval of a last chance agreement for a teacher assistant.
Make a motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aubrey, are you okay? I see your head nodding. Aubrey, are you good?
Oh, me? I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. I
Sorry.
thought you were-
No.
Okay. So,
Sorry.
go ahead, Stevie.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Number 17, acceptance of resignation for retirement purposes.
Members of the school committee, I recommend that you accept with regret the resignation for the purpose of retirement from Sue Emerson, a grade 3 teacher at Wakefield Hills Elementary School, effective at the end of the 2019-2020 school year.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Stu,
Second.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Acceptance of resignation and retirement purposes. ELL teacher, West Warwick High School.
Members of the school committee, I recommend that you accept the resignation for the purpose of retirement from Antoinette Mannix, ELL teacher at West Warwick High School, effective June 30th, 2020.
I'll make a motion.
We got a motion, second.
Second.
Second by Joe. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we have quite the audience here today, I see up there. So is there anybody that'd like to get up and say a few words?
So what we have to do is we need to
Close
exit
out and go to
this
the next one?
meeting and then go into the next link under audience of citizens. So anybody in the audience, if you want to join the audience of citizens. Okay,
Okay.
so should we?
Aubrey?
I think I would just maybe ask if anybody here has anything that they want to say, and then maybe just give it a minute or two, and then we're good.
Sure. It looks like Mr. Doyle raised his hand.
There's always somebody. All right,
You gotta
so
unmute yourself, Sean.
if he's gonna talk, do we have to switch to the other link? No, just do it
Still
now.
here? Okay,
He's
You
got
just
to
have to
unmute
unmute
himself.
yourself.
John, you're muted. Now he's not. I was going to, but he just saved himself. I have my new muted sign.
Okay, there he is.
So if you're muted,
All right.
Yeah, Steve, it's always someone and it's usually me, right?
I'm ready.
So it's good to see everybody's face.
Thank you.
I did check in at the last meeting. I want to, so I think someone just mentioned about us using technology for a long time in West Warwick. And one thing that I think we've done the right way is we've used technology as a tool. Technology isn't content. So I think where we are right now is more of it's a forced human experience more so than a technology experience. And I think Karen hit the nail right on the head. We need to take care of people first, make sure they're well, make sure they're healthy, and then whatever learning happens might happen, because it's not going to happen if people are isolated and not well and we don't have access to them. So I commend Karen for her thoughtful leadership and her compassion. And I was thinking at the last meeting, when this was still a little fresh. I want to commend the school committee. This school committee and even previous, when Pat was on board, the word collaboration, I think, gets worn out, but I feel like there's been a true partnership in West Warwick. And if this school committee hadn't given a lot of leeway and trust to the school department, to the superintendent, to administrators, and to teachers, and even to the Teachers Alliance, that over the past 5 years allowed us to build what we are now, I'm confident we wouldn't be as successful as we are in this situation if it weren't for that. So I think there aren't many school committees that would be willing to not, drive the operations and trust the people, and to the extent that you have. And I'm appreciative of it, and I know other teachers are too. So that's all I have to say for today.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
And I'll just mimic those comments. I'm equally as grateful, but thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Karen. All right, I make a motion to adjourn. How's that, Stevie?
You got it.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Bye.
Aye.
All
Bye,
right.
guys. Thank you. Nice seeing you.
Everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Take care. Bye.